from Perivoli. It's about 8 a.m. We're out early and we're gonna take a hike to a new beach. Olga's got the maps and I've had a coffee. What's the beach called?
Marathias Beach.
Marathias Beach.
2.7 kilometers, according to this.
2.7 kilometers?
Yeah.
We'll just see about that.
I know. Yesterday on the way back, it was way longer because I made a wrong turn.
Do you know that when you walk back and forth across the road, I can't get a straight shot?
No.
Huh. I follow you and then the people are dizzy watching the video. I know, singing and dancing. Good morning, Pop-Up.
Of course, it's about the cat.
Uh-huh. I don't have a selfie stick and my patience level isn't very deep.
Oh, you lover. Come here.
There was a story about a soldier in Afghanistan that he knocked the door in on a place and the old lady inside shook her finger at him and he took his helmet off and he bowed his head. They kind of became friends and she showed him a little placard above the fireplace and it said, "The tree of patience has bitter fruit. No, has bitter roots, but very sweet fruit." And he said that sort of changed his life. So we continue to work on patience.
What a darling. See ya.
And if you must dance across the road, go ahead.
Thank you. I need permission.
I'm not getting a selfie stick, I don't think.
Okay. Well, if you're happy, that's okay.
And even if I'm not, it's okay.
Gotta lift it up.
I think we're going south because the sun is to my left. And even though it's early April, when the sun comes out, it's really grand. Olga's singing Mary Poppins this morning. I did some recording yesterday, maybe 10 minutes worth. And when I finished, all I had was a snapshot. It wasn't on video. So my skills need some development still. I've noticed on these garden plots that like in America they would put corn along the edge to protect other things from the wind, and here they put rows of these tall beans, fava beans. Now I don't know whether it's because of the wind, but I've noticed they have it. There's a whole row along the fence line there, on onions over on this side, and you can see the hills. And here's something we saw in Mexico a lot. Little chapel or memorial for some loved one in the name of quite often the Virgin Mary. In India they would call it a puja stand. One thing you find all over the world is that everyone has rites, rituals, and ceremonies. And you have to dig a little deeper to see the element of love that it's based on. I brought a banana to eat today. Olga said that there wasn't even a person or a shop open, and I haven't had breakfast yet. Just a cup of coffee and out we went. There's dog number 2. She's pretty happy to see you. There's solar hot water on many of the houses, and it's a simple system. I don't know why we have not incorporated it in the United States. It's just a small barrel that's either metal or maybe even plastic, and it's often stainless steel or painted black. Good morning, Rooster. And then just a black rectangular panel where the water, the cold water goes down and the warm water rises. And it may not be a complete solar hot water provider, but if it provides 50%, that's quite a savings where electricity, in these places where electricity is expensive. So except for the really cloudy days, we've been able to get nice warm water coming out of the tap. And I priced one of those systems. It's about maybe 1.5 meters by 2 meters in size, and it was about $350 in Mexico. And it looked like a very simple installation. So if you've thought about it, look into it. It's probably a good thing, especially with the crazy fuel prices and the need for the world to pay attention to its indulgences. Simple indulgences, basic, where we could do things just in a little better way. This is very nice. It's an orchard. Not sure about all the trees. I thought some of them were cherry, but they told me they were apricot and almond. I said earlier, the town Perivoli where we're staying means orchard, so quite often looking for the budget accommodations, we end up outside of the main towns and in the smaller towns and even villages. And even our last 2 B&Bs had no address. It was just a GPS, and we got off the bus and walked to it. Now here's an old woman working the garden. Kalimera! Very good. She has a hoe and a walking stick and a bag. And look at that. Maybe her husband has plowed. And there's several other tracks here. So it's both hopeful and a reminder to us that there's ample in the world. And yes, we have to make some effort, but there's plenty of grace that plays its part along with it. This one is olives, and those are old trees. Have you been on this road before?
No, just two. We're going to the right. But there's so many beaches, the whole dang coast, you know? Here's one I haven't heard of. We're going that way today.
Take a look at the sign.
But there's another one we want to do.
We had some difficulty communicating. It just takes another step because even where we could show a word and sound it out, because it's a different alphabet, I've learned to read it, but you still have to go through another step of pronouncing it and then seeing what word it might be or the root that it's come from. To Malta's Santa Barbara Beach.
Yeah, that's the one we're doing.
Okay.
It's actually two beaches.
Uh-huh.
Marathias, here they call it Maltas, and Santa Barbara, so we're getting another split.
Now here finally are grapes. I've seen them growing along people's fences, but this is actually a vineyard. Small, but probably 100 very healthy vines, just in the real early stages of budding out. We saw a few in Italy, and we were there for 1 week, and in the course of 1 week they went from looking dead to buds to actually having leaves. So once the growth process starts with some nourishment, some sunlight, and some water, it rained twice while we were there, nature has no problem producing. These,
You know what?
yes,
Yeah, no, we're okay.
okay.
Just want to check.
These reeds, they're not bamboo, they're like marsh reeds. They grow 20 feet tall, and here's someone harvesting poles. Kalimera! Very good. And I thought that with Olga's craft skills, if we harvested them like the lady is doing there, she could weave them together into you know, a sunscreen or a lean-to for along out in the garden, or a place to sit under and have coffee in the summer. Of course, it assumes so many things, that we are alive, that we have a place to sit, and just looking around at the resources that are almost within reach, and coming to not terms, but an agreement to participate in the system that you're in, and also to make a little effort to break out of the system that might be holding you down. I'm not speaking for myself, because I've had a pretty easy life, and I know that a lot of people have felt under the thumb of their families and their situation and whatever else life has thrown at them. Where did this morning conversation come from?
I really don't know, but you're way off.
Let's go to the beach.
Yeah. I'm going swimming today.
I think that's probably where it came from. Olga said, I'm going swimming. I don't care if it's cold, I'm going swimming.
Enough is enough of that.
She went swimming in Spain. That was January. And she went swimming on Mallorca, which is also Spain. That was February into March. And that was cold, but she did swim, I think 3 times there. And you didn't get a swim in Italy, but our situation was different.
Water in Italy.
We were up on the almost the rim of Mount Vesuvius. Olga wanted to climb down in it, and all our sightseeing was the other direction. You could have Vesuvius in view
Look, they got some
from anywhere.
mega frogs here. These are big frogs.
Is he still alive?
No, of course not.
Oh,
But they have them.
sorry, buddy.
Yeah, no. Oh, look. Speaking of the devil, and there's a little snake. So we've got some little
Uh-huh.
wildlife here. Yeah.
There's an acronym for frog, and it means fully rely on God. And we were living out in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina one time and had no money, and I just started putting things out in the yard for like a yard sale. And a lady came up, and we had this frog statue or something that she bought. And we started laughing because we were going to buy a tank of gas and go to town. And she said, "Well, what are you laughing about?" I said, "Well, do you know what frog means?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Fully rely on God." If we could do that, then probably every day would be a joy. What have you got now?
Oh, nothing. I don't have my gloves on.
Oh, I see.
But
Don't miss an opportunity to defy the laws of gravity. Or I guess define them.
woohoo!
There it is. What do you call that one?
Oh my God. EPK 2.
Okay.
It's, you don't want to know.
Now
You
your
don't want to know.
now
Oh,
your
that one.
yoga handstand training has begun. Little did you know. Of course, we do go to YouTube to see how things are done. So
Oh, yeah. That's education. One of them. Instagram works too.
I haven't done that one yet.
Uh-huh.
Instagram is what I call eating pasta. I'm adding Instagrams.
Oh, I see. Now that is unbelievably huge. From the look
Oh
of
my gosh, yeah.
that's an olive tree.
Uh-huh.
That is, I've
It's in the
not seen
shape of a Y and it goes up
that.
maybe 50 feet.
Look at it. Huh?
Yep. And a big
They've had to cut
fir
it.
or pine next to it. And on the other side, a big palm.
That is so old. I cannot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, they said the civilizations have been here for thousands of years and they've been cultivating, so. And you can see with the fertile soil and the weather conditions, things grow here. So there's fresh water, people can survive as long as they don't kill each other, you know.
You know, they're beautiful when they get big. I've never seen them this big until I got to this island. They're unreal.
That's the first car. That's kind of nice. Back roads Corfu.
Yeah. Well, this is not a hot spot for tourists, well, especially not at this time, but I don't think this is the main attraction. You know, this is just one of the places, and I don't think it sees that many people coming here. And it's just been left, you know? Left to grow.
Well, hello there, puppy.
Oh, hi.
Every now and then here,
You too.
we've seen
Two of your other friends today. It's okay. I love you. Hi. Hello, lovey. My sweet love. I love you too.
yeah, floppy ears, huh?
See?
Kalimera.
Hello.
Do you think with my wobbly walk I could ride around on a moped?
Well, yes, but I'm not going to sit on it with you. Just so you know. I want my own moped.
Mhm.
Look at these lichens.
I have a friend, Peter, in California.
Good sign. Good sign of clean air. Lichen.
Lichen, and that is a rosemary that is growing alongside. So my friend Peter in California, he's all about consciousness, and he said, have you read this new book, The Power of Now? And I said, now? National Organization of Women? And he went, oh, only you. When we're with our military friends, they use a lot of acronyms. We're always having to ask, what does that mean? And we found out on this trip that, of course, people in other countries use acronyms, but they're based on their words, not on our words. It's not like the abbreviations online, like LOL, you know, that has a meaning. It's acronyms based on their language. So our one friend asked if Albania was in CIS, and we had no idea what it meant, and I still haven't found out. I will get to the bottom of it. I thought maybe he meant the EU, which it isn't the EU. When we're in Mexico, the EU is the United States, Estados Unidos. And for the actual European Union, they have EEUU. So it all stems back to the Tower of Babel, they tell me, where some people got together and came up with a scheme to climb up and take over heaven. It was not a, I won't say it was a bad plan.
That one's split, but it's living. So
Yeah.
it just hit that and it's still okay.
Well, the other one had a big Y in it.
Yes.
And look at this, you know, it's,
Oh my God.
I wouldn't even recognize that they were olive trees if we didn't know.
We only see the little skinny ones that were recently
Right.
planted, you know?
Well, this is kind of what I'm getting at, is that larger view. We're stuck in our little track of seeing things and doing things, and sometimes you have to get knocked off your routine and get a little uncomfortable, and then you start looking around, you see that there's a whole another world. Okay, enough of that. Back to the beach. This is one of the tricks Olga employs to get me to walk 7 or 8 kilometers each way. The benefit is there, my legs have gotten strong. But when she asks if I want to do it, I say I don't want to.
Wow. It's a little stream, but it's quite
These reeds are spectacular.
deep. Yeah. So much.
You can imagine all the life.
Fresh water. Yesterday, the beach I went to, it had a little stream that came out at the beach, and it was clear water. This one looks good too.
Okay, I'm going to take a rest now and eat my banana. We'll see you at the beach.
Maybe I wasn't.
We've come up upon chickens and ducks and a turkey giving us a full performance.
Yeah, except I thought I was filming and I wasn't, you know?
I'm filming now. Hi. Let's see if I can get a clear shot. Hi. Huh?